Good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Well, we've reached the end, Chris, the end of round robin, that is. This is draw 10 of the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championships. Draw number 5 on the women's side. All 12 women are out on the ice, getting ready for their first rocks. And the results of these games are going to impact what happens tomorrow morning at 8 for tiebreakers, playoffs, things like that. So we'll try to keep you updated as much as we understand it. There we have on the screen, we have, two tied at 3-1 in Pool B, two tied at 3-1 in Pool A, 2 and 2s. And a lot of these teams are playing each other, so we could have log jams. Tiebreaker that we know is head-to-head, but then we also have the last known draw, which we don't know how they did on that. So we'll do our best. In the meantime, we can turn it over to our play-by-play feature sheet. Sheet A would be the Smith Rink out of Denver, Colorado, the Denver Curling Club, Mid-America Conference, playing the Bohlman Rink out of Dakota Territory, Grand Forks Curling Club. So expect a great matchup. Smith is coming off a loss to Mandy Hampton. She was undefeated until that. Looking to rebound against Bohlman.
A nice little takeout there by the Smith team with their second stone. Bohlman going to go after that same rock, possibly get a little roll underneath.
If you're joining us early, jump in the chat. Let us know where you are, who you're cheering for. We're going to keep you updated even faster than Curling Zone. So just let us know who you're cheering for.
Fifth rock in the end here. They're sweeping hard. Looks like it's taking a big turn for them. And enough to get it out. Ooh, missed the roll just a little bit. Peeked out on the other side. Gives the red Smith a chance to go after it here. It's down the broom for a takeout. Asking for, appears to be their normal takeout. Starting to learn the ice a little bit, trying to figure out where it's going to curl, when it's going to break. Just squeaks by that guard and still contacts the object stone, but unfortunately rolls out with both stones. So we've got an open house with a red rock on the center line, but guard zone 2. And looks like the Bohlman rink is going to try and go in underneath there with a draw. Teams get a 10-minute, 9-minute practice before each game on the sheet they're going to play on, so they have a little bit of idea what the weight is going to be and what line is going to best suit them, especially on the draws. So they're not coming out there exactly cold, like a lot of times when you go to play a league game or try and play your regular club. You get a little bit of practice time here to try and fine-tune things. Bohlman got a little deeper than they wanted there, but still a nice shot. Half under cover. Smith comes down with the third rock at the end. Looks like they're going to get a piece of it. They're going to roll out again. Just trying to keep things clean at this point. Into that guard with the fourth stone. quite get the curl they were looking for, but they left it a little higher, a little more offensive stone there. Smith is still going to go after it, possibly going to roll to the inside and duck under her guard also. Young curling fan there yelling sweep.
Well, that was Denna Rosenberry, the third, advice for Cynthia Smith.
Bohlman going after this one. Looks like we're going to have a game of hitting right now. Have to see how these. Normally, ladies' game is a little more finesse, a little more draw game, a little more touch game. Looks like they're just going to keep trading stones here. We're going to have to roll on the house here and about half cover.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen quite a few hitters out there this week.
They need to get settled in, and by the time they get settled in, we'll start seeing a few more rocks in play. A lot of times teams will try and keep it close by not allowing a lot of rocks to stay in play, especially the opponents. Once they see an opportunity, they try and load the house up. If they both do it at the same time, it gets to be a real interesting end.
Sweepers want to sweep. Urging them on.
Well, they just got it there, a little bit deeper than the other stone by about the thickness of the stone. We'll go after this here. Not a lot of exposed here, so playing a little bit more down the weight. Try and curl around that guard. Make the hit on with the last of the third stones from Bohlman. Rock's starting to move here. Just misses. Looks like Smith is going to try and come around the redstone there and draw into the 4-foot. Make life a little tougher for Bohlman.
Stream numbers are growing. We got more people joining us, so thank you. We're on the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championships. You're picking up on Smith versus Bohlman, Colorado Curling Club versus the Grand Forks Curling Club. Mid-America versus Dakota Territory. Coming up on the end of the first end, Skips Rock's coming. First one, Cynthia.
Catch just a side of the 4-foot, touch the button. T-weight. It's a little exposed. Looks like they can get a piece of it. Bohlman's gonna try and pick it out of there. See how they navigate past the top red.
Now you see Mary Jaster in the house as vice, taking over the house. She's a fine young lady. We actually ran into that rink, Chuck and I, when we were taking a break yesterday, St. Patrick's Day. We stopped into a local place for a quick Guinness, actually. Had to partake. And they stopped in, probably served for maybe the same. Maybe they were hungry. It's a place known for their cheeseburgers.
I'm sorry, I missed out on that. Oh, and just a rub on that top red rock. Changed the course of the Yellowstone. Just missing the object stone in the 4-foot, touching the 1. They're going to throw up a guard here. Smith is going to throw up a guard or maybe even play it down tight, sit right on top of the 1. Sitting 2 now, going to draw for 3.
Without the hammer. Really going to put some pressure on Bohlman.
Especially if you get that underneath that red rock. They, Bohlman's team just moved that red rock top of the house a couple inches over, gives it a little more room to get to the center.
Haven't heard of anybody watching out in Dakotas.
Maybe they just don't like to chime in on the live stream.
Maybe they're quiet. Grand Forks, anybody out there? Anybody in Denver out there?
Still early.
It is early.
They're working it hard now. Draw that in there. Oh, gonna come up with a guard. Get some nice cover out of that stone. So, looks like Bohlman's gonna check out the other side of the sheet. Haven't had anybody out here. Didn't see any shots. One of the early shots was real early shots is out here. We'll be looking for a piece of that 4-foot touching the 1. Try and get underneath their yellow. Try and score a point. Keep Smith from scoring 2. Hammer stone on its way. Sweepers think it's pretty good. They're decided to sweep now. Ooh, rock is really starting to cut. Really moving. And wow, just got by, but had to sweep it to get by. And gonna give up 2. Unfortunate. Had to sweep it to clear that front rock, and ended up sweeping it to the back of the house and through. So Red with a score of 2. The first and a steal of 2. Bohlman retains the hammer. Looks like sheet F here blanked the first end and moving right along into the second end already.
Well, let's let them know what sheet F is. Sheet F is Ann Swisshelm versus Camarina out of the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. And Swisshelm out of the Detroit Curling Club, the Great Lakes Curling Association. So good game. They did blank the first end. Now they're coming back in the second. An update on sheet E. Walsh out of the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club versus Politano out of Ardsley. They're an at-large bid. Walsh scored first with a 3 in the first end over Politano. Segovia out of the Houston Curling Club, the NACA region, versus Kraus out of the Duluth Curling Club in Minnesota. And Segovia scores first. A single, 1-0. Sheet C, we've got Mandy Hampton versus Kono out of Seattle. Mandy Hampton out of the Madison Curling Club. Mandy Hampton strikes first with 2. So 2-0 Hampton over Kono. The hometown girls, ladies, Lisa Landon versus Yapel out of the Chicago Curling Club, Illinois. Lisa Landon, no,
Nope.
that is Yapel scores first with a 1-0. In our feature game, Bohlman steals 2 right off the bat.
First stone for Smith came up as a guard right on the center line. Bohlman threw a shot to the wing from the side of the house. Smith is going for a draw behind the guard. Sweepers are a little pensive to sweep. They want to let that rock curl as much as they will. Looks like it's got plenty to get to the house, but whether they get it where they want, well, looks like they're going to get it almost to the center line where they're looking for, just a little deeper than they were looking for. Bohlman going back to play, get under the guard, it looks like from this angle. Maybe right down to that red stone. It's moving hard now. Ooh. It's gonna get by the guard. Yep. It's gonna get by, but it's not gonna get very deep.
Pretty sideways.
Yep. A lot of times when those rocks tend to move that sideways, they sure scrub the speed off. And don't travel quite as far.
If you've been on the stream, you've heard this before, but worth mentioning again, they're using the USCA competition stones. Elsa Craig common green stone with a Elsa Craig blue hone insert. They were textured before the event. And all under the control of head ice tech Sean Olson and his crew. Seeing about 7 feet of curl early in the competition. Dropped a little bit. Speed is still pretty consistent, fast.
Smith draws the back of the 4. Once again, Bohlman calls for a tap up or a raise. Well, actually might be playing, they might be moving the red rock too if they need to. Put over curls on them.
On it early.
A little bit of an inside line there. Release. Unfortunate pick on that top rock. It was good to get that moved, but driving it right into your own stone, leaving them 3 is a little detrimental to the health early on.
Well, there's 5 stones left each. See what happens.
Smith is going to take this rock and put another one in play. Looks to be playing right down on top of the house. And Johnston.
She's walking along with her rock, urging on those sweepers.
And the 4th red stone in play on the house. Wow. Going to do some damage control here. Bohlman's going to go after this top rock, and I'm thinking they're going to try and split off a double somewhere here. Some weight, looking for the sweeping. And they're back on it again. It's going to be close. Got the one. Actually got a good roll out of that, got underneath their own guard. But fourth and fifth count on the house doesn't do you a lot of good at this point. Smith taking a look here, draw another one down. Looks like the Bank is playing more of a guard. Trying to hide some of these, or at least give it something to work with. Not a real heavy rock here, but they're waiting for it to curl up a little more. Now they're going hard on it. Get the position, and it's going to be short of count, but they think they were looking for a good cover there.
Excuse me. Chris, I'm just looking at Pool B just because. And we got Segovia at 3-1, Politano at 3-1, Swiss Helm 2-2, Walsh 2-2. But if Walsh plays a spoiler and beats Politano, they're both 3-2. Swiss Helm wins her game against Camarina. She's 3-2. You suddenly have 4 teams at 3-2 in Pool B. Head to head, I'm not really sure. I know Politano beat Swiss Helm, and Segovia beat Politano.
So if that plays true all the way through, if you have each team beat another team but not each other, or one team didn't beat both teams.
Yeah, that one team's gone.
That one team will be gone, but otherwise you could have A lost to B, B lost to C, and C lost to A. Now you've got 3 in a 3-way tie that all don't have a clear determined head-to-head winner. That can get mired up, and you got potential for that same thing.
Well, if there's no clear head-to-head, then the second is the LSD.
Yep, but then you've got the Connell Landon game is really shows nothing for the standings, just for bragging rights as to who finished not last. And you have that same fallout with Bohlman, and Bohlman beats Smith here.
They're both 3-2.
Yep. And Hampton and Yapel.
Yeah, it's.
Oh, excuse me. Landon and Yapel are playing.
Yeah, Hampton's playing Kono.
So if Yapel beats Landon, they could beat 3-2. And Hampton would lose to Kono. Kono and Landon could play spoiler on this last game.
They certainly could.
That would create some big issues. But that's for the officials to sort out, not for us.
Exactly. We'll just wait for them to sort it, and then we'll let everyone know what's happening tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
My prediction: we'll have at least one tiebreaker game with the ladies.
I think that's fair to say.
And if that doesn't pan out, I'd be surprised. Back to the feature game.
Skip rocks.
Smith throwing a first of 2. A little bit of weight on this. Keeping it clean. Settling in a little bit here. Ladies are digging right in there, and boy, they got a little more curl than they expected there. Trying to cover that up, they end up sweeping it right over the center line. Bohlman's going to go after him with, looks like maybe just a draw down in. Taking 4.5 feet there, almost 5 feet to the center line. And line of rocks to go to. Kind of a little red fence there to draw right down to.
Little picket red fence of granite stones.
Clears the guards on the center line at the top of the house. She could actually curl to the far right and touch the side of the 1 foot and be pretty safe there. But, see where she comes out. Oh, they're signaling. Should be okay. Sweepers don't think that it needs it yet. Thinking it's a little quick here, and it's not curling because it's a little heavier. Get the curl, but not going to get the curl till late. Trying to sweep for some curl there.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have helped at all. A little too heavy, like you said.
Yep. Close to hack weight there, I believe.
We got a score going up on Swisshelm Camarina. Swisshelm breaks the log jam of 0-0 to score a deuce in the second end. 2-0 Swisshelm over Camarina.
Smith's second stone. Looking to cover that up. Keep Bohlman from drawing into the 1 foot there. Bohlman with a big pile of rocks on the top of the house, but Smith's pile in the 4 foot. It looks like they got a little deep here. Just freeze right in there. Wow.
It's a lot of red right there, Chris.
Yeah, it is.
How do you get in there?
I believe there's enough room to get in there and get to the inside of that stone.
Mm-hmm.
And if you hit just off center with a, say, board weight, hack to board weight, I think you'll be okay. Don't think you want to get any heavier. She was just hack on that last one and only curled about a foot.
You count if you do that?
It's going to be close. It depends on where you hit it. You gotta get about 2/3 of that stone and hope that it spins back into the 1.
Or is there a draw past the nose, past that red rock?
You probably could have drawn, but she's looking at the take. Looks like she flared it out a little on her release. Looks like she's going to hit the outside edge of the rock and roll to the outside. She might pick one out here. Ooh. No, that's re-red. Wow. So, red goes up 5-0 after 2 on a second end steal to cap off the first end steal.
Just a lot of thievery going on tonight, Chris.
Yep.
Pickpocketing, 5-0. Cynthia Smith and her Denver, Colorado Curling Club rink ahead of the Bohlman rink from the Grand Forks Curling Club out of Dakota Territory. No other updates I can give you right now, but we're seeing some skip stones, so expect a few updates shortly. We'll give an update on that Politano rink versus, who are they playing? They're playing the Walsh rink, yes, from San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. Looking for a measure, I guess, in the Politano rink.
Yep, sheet
game.
Looking for an official to give my total score count here.
So we'll see what comes of that.
Smith rink putting their first rock in action on their Webstream live game, feature game.
So it looks like that'd be the Hampton Kono rink. Hampton Kono game. Kono came back with her hammer and scored 1. So Madison Curling Club and Mandy Hampton up 2-1 over Kono and the Seattle Granite Club out of Pacific Northwest.
Bohlman rink here playing a draw. Looking like they're going to cross center. Oh, cutting hard now. A little bit lighter than they were looking for. That may not. Oh, looks like it made it into the field of play. Has to cross the hog line on the house they're playing toward. Right.
Well, the measure didn't go the Politano way, but I don't really know who. Here we go. Walsh scores 3 more. So San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club scores 3 more, so it's 6-0 over Politano in the Ardsley at-large bid. So a slow start for Politano. I've seen them really play some great games, some great curling this week. Pretty strong team. They started slow in their last game and ended up falling short. They're starting a little slow in this game too. They're down 6 already. They've got their work cut out for them. So I mean, you know, we looked at that scoreboard before. Walsh at 2-2 and Politano at 3-1. Could be end up each 3-2.
Yep. Back on our feature sheet, Bohlman's second knock of the end. Coming back to the back 8-foot, touch 12 possibly. Nice draw there, got on a cover. A little deeper than what I think they were looking for. And Smith is going to follow that down and use that as backer. Get behind their own guard. Try and steal some more. Smith rink sweepers are signaling that that rock is pretty heavy. Can we raise this rock, do something with it? Looking to do anything they can at this point to figure out how they can slow that rock down. They're trying to get some sweeper curl. And did touch the yellow, got the yellow out of the circles. Not what they were looking to do, but option.
Well, whether it's option B or C or D, they might
X,
take
Y,
it.
or Z. Advance their position and remove the other stone. So there is not a hurt shot at all.
Segovia, which is out of the Houston Curling Club, versus Kraus out of Duluth Curling Club in Minnesota. Kraus came back with her hammer, scored 3. So it's now 3-1. Kraus over Segovia. There again, that's another one. Segovia sitting 3-1. Kraus 1-3, so Kraus plays a spoiler.
Could change up that whole pool. Could mire that with 4 teams all at 3-2.
Yeah, and you know the questions are coming. Well, there's one. If there's a 3-way tie, how is the tiebreaker decided? You know, first is head-to-head, and then they'll look at the last stone draws that each team did just before the game, where they measured each player. Well, not each player. Who they pick one.
Well, no, it's a rotation of all the players now, I believe. Alternate throwing clockwise and counterclockwise. Draw shot challenge or last shot draw to the button. They spend their 9 minutes figuring out their best lines and drawing their rocks in, getting their weight down. And the distance to the center of the stone is calculated out. And the team with the lowest draw shot challenge or last shot draw, cumulative total, with the lowest inches measured becomes the tiebreaker.
There you go. I couldn't have said it better myself, Chris. Thank you. Took the words right out of my mouth. Which teams have the best DSC right now?
We don't have that information in front of us, I'm sorry, but
The officials keep that guarded.
they'll reveal that when they need to use it to determine which teams pass the head-to-head competitions. So Smith Rink is looking to draw in side of the 4 under the cover there. Sets her broom down, takes about 5 feet of ice to where she wants to get to. The curl is cut down a little, not quite what we saw at the beginning of the weekend.
Probably to be expected with the wear that these rocks have had over the last 10 draws.
Yep, they're gonna move a lot in the beginning of the week, and they're gonna settle down a little bit, but they're still getting good movement. She had that broom in the middle of the 8-foot, and this rock finished in the middle outer portion of the 4-foot. That gives
5.5 to 6.
Yep. So it's still moving pretty good.
I would still love that.
Every club strives to give the players the best ice they can get. The ice is a product created by the ice committee in our club here in Wausau. We have a multitude of volunteers working on making the game the best it can be.
But let's be honest. I mean, for a club to demand championship ice every day for league would be a little over the top.
Some ice makers do try to provide it, though, even though it's a hard thing to do. You need some really dedicated volunteers, or even some clubs have paid ice makers and assistants.
You can count them on probably one hand.
With the majority of 99 other ones that are volunteering their time.
Exactly.
But when they share knowledge, it seems to work pretty well. Dina Roseberry urging her sweepers on here.
Well, I'd have to say the age of the internet has helped expand that knowledge. I think for years it was like the magical magician ice maker.
Yeah. Don't look under my hat. I've got nothing under there.
Just do magic, and I'm not telling you how I do it.
Yeah. Don't come to the club early. Just come for your game. Because if you see me doing something, I'm not going to admit to it.
Yep.
No, I'm not that kind of ice maker. I share my information. Maybe that's some of the reason I'm so well accepted by some of the other ice makers on the national crew. A good friend of mine, Kevin Madsen, does a lot of the Arena Nationals ice, and works in arenas teaching people how to turn hockey ice into good curling ice.
Always important when you got a new club.
Oh, she gave this one a little bit of a gun here. Bohlman's third. Put a little pepper on this one. They're sweeping their heart over in this one. Get by the first.
Bang,
Play the run
bang,
back.
bang, bang.
Oh, cleared out a guard. Cleared out a rock on top of the house, and took red down to still sitting at 1, but accessible. Bohlman kind of shaking her head there, looking at the ice. Not getting the results she was looking for. Smith throwing the first of her 2 stones this end. Toss up a guard here, waiting to sweep. Take that in. Now that it's gone so far, you might want to get it for a second count. Kind of waited a little bit too long for that. Now Bohlman's going to come down, try and hit that yellow stone, promote it back. Well, looking at a couple options here for your third looked at playing off the outside stone. Guards kind of hamper her ability to get in there. She's going to raise the guard back. Play a combination shot here. A run back double, possibly.
Is she sitting 1 or 2? Right now. Red.
I believe two is sitting first count only. Yellow's sitting second.
Okay.
The red on the center line is a little bit farther away from the center. That yellow is right on top. There's Bohlman's raise takeout. Going to be needing to sweep this in a short hurry here. Maybe not.
What happened there? That was a miss.
Didn't get the curl she was expecting, obviously, or she was a little bit wide, possibly. The one red stone touching the almost full red. Is first count. The yellow that they're looking at right there is second count. With the third stone, the other red next to the center line as third count. And she is trying to, Smith is trying to cover up that yellow so Bohlman can't run that back into her and raise her out. So she's going to try and cover up the yellow stone next to the red in the circles in the 8-foot. It's going to be a tough shot to hide here where you don't give her an opportunity of anything for Bohlman. She's going to have a shot. There's no doubt about that. Waiting for this to curl here. Waits there, the sweepers are saying. But the rock, there it comes. But is it going to come over the center line far enough to cover that yellow rock? It's going to sit right on top of the red. Going to try and raise that red for second count. There you go.
Yeah, not definitely a second count.
Yep.
Look who's here. Got some fan club people walking in. My wife and son just walk in. They're like, where have you been all weekend?
Hiding at the curling club in the corner.
I've been talking on the live stream. Yeah, you do what you have to do.
So Bohlman's looking at possibly tripling these out or just raising her one to take out the count stone and sit. Oh. There is a potential triple here. She's looking at slashing that redstone. I don't know that that's what she's actually planned for. Where her broom is.
Just taps up her yellow, right?
I think that's what the call is the tap of the yellow. She's, unless she's throwing a ton of weight at this right where the broom is. I think that may be Matt Toombs with the cowbell over there.
Okay, let's see what happens here. It's coming down. They're both
stone.
on it, sweeping hard. Tracking it down, clears the guard.
Clear that top red to get their yellow back in.
And it, oh.
Wow, that's going to be a measure.
Ooh.
By my eye, I'd say red, but they're calling for a technical timeout.
Let's watch it again on our replay. Boom, boom. Yeah.
Took a little slide to the side.
It
It
did.
followed the circle out. A little bit of drag effect from that.
A little inertia. Had some
Yep.
extra energy needed to get rid of, and it slipped out the side. That's, yeah, wow. That was the shot, but yeah.
Exciting outcome. Looking at one, measuring for one. By my eye and our fisheye cameras, I mean high quality impact lenses.
So
I'd say it looks red, but there's an opportunity here. And this, boy, Bohlman needs this point to get on the board.
good shot of the measure.
Beautiful.
I think is that Susie doing the measure? Where are we looking here? I can't see. No, it's not Susie. And it is who?
We're bringing in the.
Oh, they're
bringing in the
letting her look.
thirds.
Yep. They're like, hey, get in here. You guys got to see this.
So there's a little roller ball on there that glides along
Looks
the
like
rock.
Yellow.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, my eye was wrong. Wow. But you can never tell where the center hole is, but it should be right in the middle.
You sure hope so.
Well, and if you notice a lot of the play through the center of the house, the color gets mottled or cloudy from the rocks running over the pebble.
Sure. Yep. Yep.
So it obscures a little bit of the colored portion and the black.
Well, regardless of that, Bohlman gets on the scoreboard with 1. She's only down 4 now.
Broke the egg.
5-1. Smith still leads Denver Curling Club and Mid-America, beating Bohlman in the Dakota Territory. Well, looks like another update I give you is Swiss Helm versus Camarina. Swiss Helm stole 2 in the 3rd. So she's still blanking Camarina 4-0 now. Looks like on sheet C, Kono stole in the 3rd against Mandy Hampton. Is now tied 2-2.
2-2. Wow, close game.
Yeah, great battle there. Pacific Northwest versus Wisconsin. You know, Mandy looked really strong almost every game, except the one that she ended up seemingly injured, pulled herself out, and we lost to our host club, the Landon Rink. Then she came back and beat this Smith team pretty handily, and now playing Kono in a tight match. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that one.
Smith with the hammer. First stone from Smith. Coming down to take out the Bohlman rock that was laid. First shot. Laid the rock right in the house. Beautiful draw.
Speaking of our hometown Landon Rink, Yapel stole a point in the 2nd end against Landon. Now took the lead 2-1. Susan Peliquin getting to play in this game as Valerie Gorix is taking it off. It was a sore knee flare up. So it's nice to see Susan getting some action. I bet she's having some fun. Saw her husband walk in, so I know she's got a fan club. She has more than just one, but.
Feature sheet, Bohlman draws the tee, and Smith sets up for a takeout.
After this shot, I'll give you an update on Walsh and Politano.
Sweeping pretty hard. And nose hit, slight inside roll. Keeping good position.
Well executed. Walsh versus Politano. Walsh obviously jumped out to 6-0 lead. Politano had the hammer and scored a 2. So still has some work to do, but cutting into that lead now 6-2. Walsh. in the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club MOPAC region for Politano in the at-large bid. That's all your updates, up to date after the third end. Now playing the fourth, getting ready for the fourth end break.
Bohlman draws down, trying to freeze onto the redstone of Smith. Gives it just a tap back. And she sets up to run this stone out. With a 4-point lead, she's trying to just keep it clean. And with the hammer in her back pocket for this end. We're looking for a deuce or better. Ooh, and a little over curl, pushed the yellow stone into their red rock, and left the yellow in the forefoot. Bohlman goes to guard. Bohlman's fourth stone of the end here, coming down for a guard. And the sweepers are watching for line. They want to sweep. The sweepers want to sweep. We're going to play this in the house and change of plans. They're going to sweep it right to the other one. About full rock separation. Smith sets up to take it out. Calls for a bigger weight takeout. I believe that's probably a call for a double or. She's looking at trying to get this bonus on this shot, hit the one and get both of them. And Johnston coming out with takeout weight.
Ooh. Only got the back, but.
Yeah, actually picked that back one out. I don't think there was that much of it sticking out.
A replay of that on our screen that we're watching, and yeah, it wasn't much there.
Bohlman looking at, I think that was a call for back four or back T-weight there. Playing another rock into the house. Skinner third and Mary Jasser. Get that rock in the house, or at least somewhere close. Sweepers are
Curling
the brooms. Yeah, I'm going to get off of it because it's moving sideways. I don't want to drag it too far. Left it about half covered.
Cynthia says, I'll have none of that. Get rid of this rock.
And if you clear the guard, no harm. We're going to go after the guard first.
Going after the guard.
Gotta be careful here you don't run back into that redstone.
Well, right.
And she's taken a look at that a couple times. I don't know if I would have played that turn. I think I might have gone the other way.
Well,
let's see where they come out. Letting it curl so it doesn't do that. And had an option for the double.
seemed happy with it, I guess.
Yep. Bohlman here with the third's last shot, looking to draw another rock in the house. Concentration is amazing.
Were you talking to me? I was concentrating.
Yeah, I heard your eyeballs rolling around your head when you shook it.
Uh-huh. It's a Saturday night. We're at the last draw of the round robin. We've got 70 people on the stream now. Welcome to everybody who's joined us to the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championship from the Wausau Curling Center, home of the Wausau Curling Club, right here in Wausau, Wisconsin.
Feel free to chime in on the webcast and give us your questions or comments. We appreciate both. Anything you have a question on, anything you want to learn more about curling, give us a text.
They don't know how to text us, Chris. They can
Well,
they can throw it up
chime
in the
on
YouTube chat.
In the YouTube chat, yep.
Yep.
You probably shouldn't ask for any texting. We're going to get that from our fans, our locals. Already got a couple of those, so.
All totally supportive
Well, believe it or not, they were.
in their own special way.
Yeah, well, they are special people.
Yes. What would Jeff do anyway?
Yep, what would Jeff do? One of my curlers has a motto of what would Jeff do? And WWJD. And we give him a hard time all the time about that.
I see those bumper stickers everywhere.
Well, I don't think it's for the same reason.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
And Jeff gives us advice on what we should curl or how our strategy should play out. And
I'll just say that Jeff's really not one to be able to do that, but
we don't think so either, but he still voices his opinion.
of course. He
Yeah.
did win. He won the Marshfield Benz.
Well, he does have that to his credit. He had
I
a
was
good-
on the team too.
He had a good support staff.
And I was on the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I
But,
don't talk, I
he
don't go
doesn't-
around, hey, what would Steve do?
He
Did skip though.
did skip through skip stones. But he's never going to let anybody forget it because he's like 2-0 skipping. Except when he skips our league team. Or throws skips rocks.
Poor
And-
Jeff. Unfortunately, he's probably not listening to us.
Well, you never know. You never know. Or they may come back and listen to the playback or watch the playback on it.
Maybe. All right, so what's
Bohlman's got a counter sitting top four with a guard rock somewhat in front of it. Smith's coming down with her first stone. And she is going to, I believe,
try to spill that, huh?
yep. There's enough room to get around there. That guard only covers the outside quarter. Oh, it's moving right away here. Trying to keep it straight, but
Trying to
it
keep it
is
straight.
turning hard.
Well, they're both on it.
Yeah, it's because it's all one.
It is curling. They got a guard they just chipped the guard. And both stones.
Both stones clear the house.
All right, so now everything's wide open. Nothing out front. 2 stones left.
So Bohlman's determining, do we go after theirs so we don't give them a deuce? Or we tap this up. Play the draw behind, tap it up.
Wow. What do you like?
Well, personally here, I would play down just like they are. If it over curls, you can tap that rock up, tap it back, and go around it, and go to the back four. The way the rocks are moving, if they clear it, they could very, very easily just be behind the one. You don't really want to get behind the tee line here if you can help it, because that gives the other team a chance to draw down too and give them backing.
Yeah, I mean, they'd rather avoid a force. They're probably trying to steal. I mean, not necessarily avoid the force, but this shot, I imagine, is more geared towards trying to steal one.
Yes. Yes, this is not on the force. The force would be to go after that red rock on the
Yeah.
outside and eliminate that stone from play.
Yeah.
He's going to catch a little piece of this, push it back a little. covers half the button, 2/3 of the button. Makes it very difficult. And looks like Smith may go after this stone. That's a pretty gutsy call. Because if she doesn't hit it right.
You go after it, are you going to lose your shooter? Or are you going to force anyway?
Mm-hmm. She's got to get a nose on this, and I don't know that she's going to get a... Oh, that's tight. On this shot, coming in this way, to hit the back stone, one closest to the tee line, count stone, there's not a lot of room to get to the inside of that and roll underneath the other one. You can run right into the other stone, and you may give away a yellow with that top rock just outside the 4 foot.
She's focused on it. The rock is coming down. 1 sweep, 2 sweeps, light dusting.
Cleaning. Williams looking for a little bit of direction. What are we looking for?
Now
we're playing for the curl. And
oh.
Yeah, cut him to 1, but advantage Bohlman here. Gets the point. So Bowman's crawling back in, point at a time. Steal 1, gets 5-2.
A lot better than 5-0. So,
oh yeah,
heading into the 4th end break, they're down 3.
Still a really good game. It's tight.
Some other scores as we look around. Let's start over at what do we got? Sheet C, I guess we can start at. A very tight game. Mandy Hampton versus Kono. And Hampton scores 1 in the 4th to head into the 4th end break up 3-2. She broke a tie. So Hampton's leading Kono 3-2. Segovia versus Kraus, an interesting score. Kraus playing a big spoiler here, really piling it on. Scored another point in the 4th end to go up 6-1 over Segovia. I was expecting that one to be a closer match, but Kraus came to play. Good for them. Yeah, definitely. Sheet D. Sheet E is waiting to hang that point. Susie's got it in her hand on the Walsh-Politano rink. Walsh is delivering her hammer. And
Clears the guard.
Is removing the count stone for, looks like 1. Maybe more. Let's wait for Susie to hang it. And yeah, on sheet F, Swisshelm versus Camarina.
For 2.
Swisshelm, Camarina actually got on the board in the 4th with a 1. So still trailing Swisshelm 4-1 at the 4th end break. And back to the Politano game, Walsh, that was a shot for 2. So she's piling it on. It is now 8-2, Walsh over Politano.
Okay, and
there you see it.
Most of the sheets on break here, except for C has already gone back to play on 5.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean it's starting to play out. It's starting to play out as you know, Pool B is going to look like everyone's going to be 3-2 except.
Pool B is going to be everybody swimming. They're all still
the bottom
going to be alive. Yep.
How about this one, Valerie?
I don't really want to.
Is someone sitting there? Oh.
Well, the team is on break for another 2 minutes here, approximately, and
during these the 4th end break, you know, they'll sit, they'll have a little snack, they'll chat, they'll
try to discuss their strategy, see where they're making the mistakes, try and correct that, and clean it up.
And the ice, meanwhile, the ice crew does a mop.
And a quick pebble of the slider path right in front of the hacks. So, Sean Olsen coming across here, gives a little sprinkle, cleans up the hack, gets a slider path reconditioned. As the volunteer ice crew mops everything and makes sure that the hacks are cleaned out. Any erroneous ice chips might be collected. And it looks like they're going to be going back to playing here shortly within about a minute or so. If you see the clock timer running in the background, there's about 45 seconds left in the mid-game break, and they'll let that run down to 0, and then they've got 10 seconds to deliver their first stone at the end.
So after the 4th end break, you know, we have some new watchers. Welcome. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday night from the Wausau Curling Center at the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championships. You're watching draw 10, the last of all of the draws. This is the women's draw. All 12 women's teams are out there. Some are looking to play a spoiler. Some are looking to just stay ahead. And so a lot of these games have implications that will affect tiebreakers tomorrow, and we won't really know what's happening until really all the rocks are done being thrown. But we'll try to keep you as posted as much as we can. You know, if you're out there cheering for a team, let us know. We'll try to keep you posted specifically, but we will do, you know, changes. We'll post as they post scores. So
just one thing I want to clean you up on there, Steve. You said that was the last of the draws, last of the round robin draws.
Last of the round robin draws, of course.
Yep. Any tiebreakers tomorrow morning, and semis and finals tomorrow at noon and 4.
Correct. Yep. Yeah. So if you're in the area, traveling distance, come on down. Maybe tonight yet, but certainly tomorrow. There's the best of the best will be taking the ice for semifinals and finals. And there will be an award ceremony afterwards for gold, silver, and bronze for the club champions.
National Club Champions.
National Club Champions. USA Curling National Club Champions.
Okay, so Smith has placed a rock in the back of the house a little deeper than they wanted. Bohlman threw up a rock and didn't manage to stay in play. They're going to play down to that other stone. Draw right down to the face of it. Try and use it as protection on the backside. Trying to find a few more stolen points here. Trying to climb their way back into the game.
Yeah, that's what they have to do.
A little bit of an over curl there, got a little farther outside, but they're looking like they drew a count here.
Well, you try to, maybe you force them this end and come back and score 2 in the 6th. You know, you're only down 2.
Yep. She didn't throw up a guard, so she isn't playing hard steel here. Playing down 2, she's going to give him the force at that point. Playing more toward forcing him for 1. And cleared out both stones in the back of the house, leaving one red stone by itself. Top corner. Smith's pretty happy with that shot. Bohlman's going to try and lock up on the inside here, curl into the top corner of that. We were alongside it, right next to it. Not
look,
giving up.
You can see, you know, when they're done sweeping on the sheet next to us, I often see our Wausau team walking up the sheet, and it looks just like they're looking right at me.
They are looking right at you, Steve.
Gives me a little like, what's wrong?
They're just checking to make sure that you're watching. Terry Gleason's got her eye on you.
Well, we're working together. Some interesting developments up in Rhinelander. Rhinelander is interested in getting a curling club.
Yep, they're going to be, did we host a Learn to Curl Forum, or is that coming up on Monday?
Well, no, that got snowed out.
Oh, with the weather last week.
It did. So now they're looking at end of April into May sometime in that area, and do a Learn to Curl up on the hockey rink. The person who's interested knows the ice rink manager, and so they would set up some curling ice up in the Rhinelander hockey arena, and we would supply anything that we needed: hacks, brooms, stones. Get as many people interested and out there, give it a try. Jeff Goodland's part of that group. Paul Schaefer.
Fantastic.
Yeah, Paul Schaefer.
You may want to contact Kevin Matson and see what you can get for the freezing hacks that he's got.
Yeah, he's been spoken to.
Good. He's the USA Curling Arena Master for making ice. He defers he doesn't know much, but he knows a considerable amount. And I've gotten to work with him at numerous events and really enjoy his company. He does a great job. He's a good guy to work with. Just like Sean or Jason Card here from Eau Claire that's over running the shaver this week. We've got Smith here determining what she wants to do. She looks like she's going to draw in behind the yellow. Playing here, they're sweeping a little bit. Getting around the yellow guard. All three of them sweeping hard here to pull the top of the house. Get that rock in play. Wow, great sweep. Here we come with Bohlman's first of the third stones. Playing down to rock in the back of the house, it looks like. A little bit of weight on this. Trying to chip that one out, and got it through. I got it. A little bit of jaw in between the two skips here. Getting a little laugh. So Smith looking to play behind. A little indecision here. I'm going to try and duplicate the shot she had before. They're going to try and draw behind the yellow and reds. Try and get buried here. Try and work on a multiple for this end. Dina Rosenberry throwing the stone here. The sweeper's going at it here. It's starting to cut hard. I'm looking down the line here. Looks like they got around the top, but might have a little bit too much weight here. Going to slip through the house. Unfortunate. Had to sweep to get that line, so they didn't rub that other stone. Didn't want to pop out into the open. And by having to sweep it that hard to get by, ended up sweeping it right on through. Not a horrible thing to happen, you know, don't leave something for the other team to come down to. So Bohlman playing the last of the third stones. Sixth rock of the end for them. Weight looks pretty good here. Sweepers are going to pick it up. Keep it a little straighter. Trying to get around that long guard. Make sure that they get to the house. Well, they're hoping to get it to curl a little bit harder. Bohlman's going to probably finish that or leave it for the other skip to try and draw it over. The opposing skip can sweep the delivered stone as soon as it touches the tee line. And that is the only place you can ever sweep a opponent's stone is behind the tee line by the person in charge of the house, whether it be the skip or the vice skip. Oh, Smith is going to try and follow this down. Three rocks to play here in the end. You're going to come down right on top of this or right next to it, the way it looks. You're sweeping hard to try and get it to the house a little bit closer. And came up just a little bit short. Smith looks a little disheartened at that shot. Was hoping to get it a little bit farther and get count out of it. She looks like she's contemplating a lot of different shots at this point, what she's going to do. Try and make something happen here. It looks like she's already decided on what she's doing. She's got her gripper off and ready to slide down to the other end. And Bohlman's going to throw up a rock here, probably going to try and draw around the one that Dina Rosenberry just left in the 8-foot. Bohlman of first of two stones, skip stones. Looks a little tight. They're sweeping early. Want to get around that red stone and get to the 4-foot, possibly touch the button. Boy, looks a little bit light.
Don't know quite what to do with it.
Yep, because it's going to come over and it's going to crash on that red stone, and they don't want to drive that red rock back anymore. But they do want to protect their stone. Being that Rosenberry's rock was left just inches shorter than the Yellowstone.
Definitely protected.
Yep. She's going to take a look here and see if there's any way she can possibly raise one of these rocks back and make a better play. Try and score a deuce here. Try and tap a rock back. Looks like she's calling. Sit on top of the 4-foot here. Or possibly get around that yellow and catch a piece of that red stone and move it back. So Smith's first of two stones this end. On its way. The sweepers take a look at the weight. One starts sweeping. The other one's looking at line. And she wants to sweep too. But they're not really sure.
Sweepers want to sweep. But how much and for what?
Looks like they're trying to get around the top of this red one and get to that.
It looks like they're going to be a little short of it.
Just came up a little on the light side again. Bohlman with her final shot in this end, fifth end. Sweepers are looking for a little bit of direction. Do you want us to sweep? Do you want us not to sweep? How does it look, Skip?
Halfway down, they say yes. Now they say no. Now they say yes.
So one's going to sweep.
Trying to pull it over a little bit.
Just trying to close up the house here. I think they want to take away as much of that 4 foot as they can.
And they did it.
It makes Smith work really hard for her point here.
But definitely reachable.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Got the whole 4 foot. All she's going to do is touch the red paint. Have the rock stop somewhere. Touching red.
Looks like she might have been just more, protecting a raise in my mind, maybe.
Yeah, well, guarding 4, keeping from getting to that rock that she just laid there. So if she would play that raise, she might have been able to raise it back to that yellow. And
touch red.
Touch red. Draw the 4.
That's what the skips do.
Paid the big money. So here she goes. Smith's putting her rock in play. Looks like
sweet. Almost right away, but no.
Yep.
There we go, both on the rock.
Trying to pull it out here, keep it straight.
Kind
Got to
of
get around that guard she just threw, and doesn't look like it's got a lot. Can she get to the 4 foot?
It does look.
She's going to get there.
Still going.
They're still going.
I think she's got it.
Beautiful shot. Touch the 1.
T-line. I didn't think it was going to get there.
Oh, at the hog line, it looked a little bit slow yet. They weren't sure. They wanted to sweep, but they didn't.
Well, nice shot by Cynthia Smith.
Smith goes up 6-2 after 5.
Wasn't a steal.
Earned that one with the hammer.
Yep.
We'll see what Bohlman's got in store for her with the hammer again. See if she can get a few more points toward her. Bring the tie.
Very close game over Hampton and Kono. In the fifth end, Kono scored 1. So it's now tied 3-3. Yeah, back and forth, back and forth.
Wow, and that's got serious implications. If Kono wins, Hampton drops to 3-2.
Right. And then Swiss Helm and Camarina. Swiss Helm is just adding to her lead here. Another 2 points, 6-1. Swiss Helm over Camarina. Renee Sobering's first stone. Nice crowd here at the Wausau Curling Center, still enjoying the women's last draw as well as the final draw of the entire round robin. Dean Gemmel playing host in the stands as he makes his way around the crowd. He's been here all week along with Craig Perry, Sean Olson,
Jason Card from Eau Claire.
yeah, one of Sean's helpers, master of the scraper. See Jim Wendling on the timer.
Volunteered his time. Yep, just saw his son roaming
You
around
know,
here.
he just doesn't really do much, but I'm glad I see him timing.
One of the hardest working members of our club.
He certainly is.
Runs the high school program for Wausau West, coordinates the high school championships and the TG Bonspiel, coordinates a lot of the junior programs, coaches high school and juniors.
Travels with his son
Spends a lot of time on the road.
and daughter.
And daughter now, yes. And
Makes things. He's sitting at a desk that he made for timing. Made all the new timing desks. Made the letters for our scoreboards. Made some of the merchandise that we're selling.
we didn't make some of the, he engraved some of the merchandise, yes. Produced
You're being
a
pretty
finished,
technical now, Chris. Oh, it's merchandise sales time. Speaking of
Dean Gamel's-
merchandise,
Dean Gamel's pushing the merchandise again. Helping to raise
So-
money for the club.
we got our first handshakes actually, because they came off the ice here on sheet E. And Politano and Walsh ended it early. 13-2.
Wow.
So yeah,
That's
game
an
I expected
impressive
to see
scoreboard.
the other way, but Politano just didn't have it tonight. But Walsh certainly did. So San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club came out with a huge win. And
So Walsh goes to 3-2. Politano drops to 3-2. To Meyer, the Pool B of the ladies' draw. Segovia, sorry, is still embattled in their game. See where that pool pans out. Hit and a roll out here by Smith. Ooh, rolled back in. Rock took a little bit of what we call the death roll, as it's slowing, spinning to a stop. It all of a sudden hooks and pulls right back into the circles. I believe it's right on the edge there. Probably be a stick measurement to make sure it's in the circles. So Bohlman's going to play down toward that rock, using that as a hazard or a backer, blocker, back guard for the stone. Sometimes you can put that rock right in front of another rock and people can't get it hit out because there's that stone behind it seems to become a nuisance back there. Oh, and they went right alongside.
behind it now.
Wow, they're looking at both of them now, see whether they're on the house or not. Wow, it's measurable distance. Looking at the overhead here. That is really tight. I believe it'd be yellow the way it looks from here, but when you get out that far in the circles, it gets a little bit of a fisheye. We've got some good cameras, but get a little bit of distortion, you get a little bit of condensation on the lens. Smith looking to pick off this guard. Seventh rock at the end.
Slid by.
Wow. And Bohlman's going to stack another one over there. Attempted to get that one on the house, and it got a little bit deep. Now they're going to throw another one up on there. Bohlman's concentration level looks very strong. Looks like they're going to sit down on top of theirs and stay. No doubt about that. Another yellow rock. Now it's tapped out. Red still may be biting. Have to wait for an official call on that if it comes into play. Talked about whether they should shoot at the guard up in front or shoot at the rock here. My preference is shoot the top rock off and play for a double. possibly wreck that whole corner.
Yeah, it's
And a rock behind the tee line at this point. If you've got, well, she doesn't have hammer. She's getting a little gutsy here without the hammer. She's shooting at Bohlman, and Bohlman's got the hammer. It's kind of like the teams have reversed roles again. Seen that a few times this weekend.
like Ritker's with that unfortunate turn of events that he had.
Yeah, that was definitely a change in fortune real quick. I'm sure they're
versus Ward.
They did make a comment they were going to watch that game, but they didn't expect the outcome to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bowman's going to play down to that rock again. Mary Chester.
Looks like she has a nice homemade stabilizer, and she's using one of ours.
It looks like a Jim Wendling special.
That's another thing.
The guy
Jim
that
did.
doesn't do anything around the club, you know.
Oh, you must know sarcasm when you hear it, Chris. But yeah, that was a summer project for Jim a couple of years back. He and his son produced, I don't know how many.
Probably 3 dozen, 4 dozen.
Yeah.
Stabilizers for the club members to use as they needed. And they're there for anybody who's here playing. Built 2 beautiful racks for them. And the wooden stabilizers are throwing aids for the people that don't slide with a broom and need a little bit more stability, maybe just have a little bit of imbalance issues. Gives you a little bit more stability.
You know, I think even now it's like you can throw with a stabilizer just as, probably even better than a broom.
In some instances, yes. And a nice pick out there. And going to spin all the way through the house with the shooter. No chance for that to spin back on, I don't think. So, same call from Bohlman for the final shot at this end. Draw down on top of that red stone. Back of the house. Sweepers are asking the skip if they need it. Sweeping, no, they're not. Possibly. It's got to be close when they start sweeping, stop sweeping, start sweeping, stop sweeping. Gives an opportunity to take a look at where the rock's going also when they stop. In for count.
And down to the skip rocks in the 6th end of our Smith-Bohlman matchup. Looks like we got a score update on Hampton and Kono. Looks like Kono added to her lead by 1, so she stole 1. Is now 4-3. Broke the tie. 4-3 over Mandy Hampton and the Madison Curling Club out of Wisconsin. That's a game Mandy would love to win. Defending champ Mandy Hampton and the Madison Club.
And Smith's first stone of 2. Looking to raise that yellow rock out of the house. Both sweepers sweeping hard now. The rock curling a little bit more than they thought. And lost their stone in the back of the house and the yellow that was there. So chance for a hard steal here gone. Bohlman's going to go after that and try and stick around here. Probably try and score the deuce if she can get a miss out of Smith. First shot is in in motion. Oh, and they're sweeping hard. They're on it right away. Trying to get it out there, keep it out where it belongs. Oh, they're off sweeping. And
But the vice came out. Also, well, getting ready for the roll.
trying to
but
get the
no
roll to the inside. No, no. No, it was a pretty solid nose hit. And Bohlman's going to attempt to, or Smith is going to attempt to do the same. I'm going to change up the turn. Nope.
It's I was going to say that's a tight broom, and now she's giving a little more.
She third wasn't real clear on what she wanted to do before she left the house there. Now they're changing the turn.
Now they're changing it, giving more broom. I'm assuming they still are. I shouldn't assume. I don't know what they're doing actually, Chris.
I think they're hitting that. They're just looking to get a deeper roll off of this than what the other turn would give them. Their other turn would give them a flat roll.
Gotcha.
And it would only come across the top of the 8-foot, where this will go a little bit deeper and possibly into the 4-foot. They're going to have to sweep pretty hard here to get to the, keep that on the inside of the yellow. Looks more like a nose. Well, actually,
No,
outside
spin
hit.
out, yeah. Nowhere near the weight that was needed for that shot.
More broom. Could have given her more broom and gotten that same shot with that weight.
Yeah. Well, clean house.
They're discussing what they should do. Should they throw for the blank?
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
awful
she could just draw in for one.
Could draw for one. Could throw it through.
6-3. Down 3. 2 to play.
It's a long split raise for that other rock. She looks like she's going to play. If it goes, it goes. If it stays, it stays. Going to throw the draw up there, and if it, either or.
Sure.
I don't think she's.
She wouldn't. Yeah, she wouldn't
Wouldn't
care
be
too
upset
much.
if she came up short or went through the house
Yeah.
at this point. She's got 12 feet to draw to. Put a point in the point in the basket here, and
Come out fighting in 7th.
Yep.
Down 3.
try and get 3 more in the next 2 ends.
Well, here it comes.
Final stone. The end. Sweepers are moving pretty quick yet. Rock's not settling quite yet. Looks like this might slide just through the house.
Yes.
It's one of those, like I said, either ors. Either throw it through or you let it stop in the house. Take your point. This way she retains the hammer and can hopefully score multiple with the next end. Trying to bring that score a little bit closer.
The Segovia and Kraus game. Segovia with her hammer scored 1, but still trails 7-2, sorry, over Kraus out of Duluth in the Minnesota region. Or let's call it the State Association. And then on, I don't know if I updated Ann Swisshelm's
Nope.
game versus Camarina.
Not yet.
Yeah, so Ann stole a point in the 6th, added to her lead. Now 7-1 over Camarina, playing the 7th end. Camarina out of the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. 2 clubs out of the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club, both MOPAC entrants. Exciting story out in San Francisco with the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club going to dedicated and they hosted the playdowns out in Mopac. So very exciting time for them. I'm sure they're super excited to gain new members, have more bonspiels, more ice all around, just their own club that they can kind of do what they want to with and call their own.
Smith rink threw their first rock up in the top of the 8-foot, and the Bohlman rink is throwing their stone as looks to be a guard. I don't think that's what they were looking for. Looking to come down to this. They're going to be not quite to it, a couple feet away. And to Smith make a decision here. She's going to try and pick that out of there. Give that a little ride. Move that stone out of play. Less stones yellow has, the less stones they can score. Smith's second rock at the end. Looks like it's a little bit on the white side, but still moving. Oh!
Uh-oh.
Wow, unfortunate. Slid right past the rock, object rock they were trying to hit and knocked themselves out of play. Wow, there's a little bit of karma coming back around. Jeez. Fortunate play there. So Bowman's going to try and draw the other side of the house and get another rock in play here. Working her way to her multiple end. She's trying to build and score.
So Haley Yapel scored, actually stole 2 points against our Wausau team, Lisa Landon. So Yapel is extending her lead now 5-2 over Lisa Landon.
Smith looking at taking this rock out on the outside. Pretty tough shot as far out on the sheet. You have a lot of different challenges out here. Might not curl as much. Bring the weight up, it might run a little straighter. Here, Johnston throwing the stone here.
Yeah, it looks like she's just happy to throw. She's just smiling. Oh.
Little inside.
No, she's not smiling. Wish she had that one back.
Yep. Smith talking with her lead about that shot and what the ice is doing a little bit. Trying to get everybody back on the same page here. They got a little rattled, I think, on that last end, and Bohlman's looking to keep rattling their cage, trying to shake some points out on her side, keeping Smith at bay. Looks like this is going to be a T, just slightly over.
She's filling the house.
Yep. 3 yellows sitting right now. Looking good for a multiple for Bohlman's team. Need to get 2 or 3 here to get back in the game. And late here in the 7th. And Johnson threw her second stone. No sweeping at this point. Trying to catch a corner of that stone.
Perfect, but no.
Wow.
Oh boy.
2 clean misses here. 3 yellow setting. Wow. Advantage Bohlman. He's going to try and figure out what to do here. Probably draw around the top. Draw back in the 4. Top 8, yep. Looks like what she's calling. Good opportunity here to try and hide one. And Smith continues to unload shotgun shells, so she'll run out of ammo. Especially when you're shooting blanks. Looks like that rock's going to curl up quite a bit. Might not get too deep in the house here.
Can it get to the house?
Nope.
Boy.
Not a horrible loss, but could be a little bit better either. Doesn't really cover anything up. Works as a corner guard if you need to hit something, slide underneath. Smith may use that. She shoots at count here. Smith looking for a little bit of a inside hit, roll underneath that cover that they just threw up. That rock looks like it's moving. They're sweeping it really hard here. Want to get around that top rock. And got by there. Got the inside hit.
It is peeking out.
And it's going to be open.
But they did
Remove the stone, made the shot.
Made their shot. Only two Bohlman stones in the house.
Second and third count at this point. Looking to remove the red. Thinking she's going to be looking for a roll under those other two stones. Cowbell going off on the other end.
Need more cowbell.
Need more Christopher Walken.
He's great too.
Okay, well, a little roll out there with a hit. No bonus on that. Just telling her players which is shot and which is second. Communicating with the players. What do you think?
Oh, yeah. What do you think? Let's talk about it. She calls a timeout. I want to thank everyone for hanging with us on a Saturday night. And we're as we look at the Smith rink, giving a little chat, discussing what to do. I just want to let you all know that these games will be winding up, and there's going to be implications on almost all the outcomes here. Tiebreakers will be involved, and there are 8 o'clock scheduled time for any tiebreaker games. And I think on the men's side there are none. But the women's, we're going to probably have at least a tiebreaker game. And then after that, that'll determine semifinals at 12 o'clock Central Time. And with our final gold and silver medal games at 4 o'clock right here at the Wausau Curling Center. So this is all part of the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championships held at the Wausau Curling Center. So stick with us. We'll try to keep you updated and give you what we know before we sign off. Otherwise, keep an eye on our Facebook page, and we'll see you in the morning when that happens.
Well, and if you just decide to come back, take a look in the morning before the 8 o'clock draw, and it'll usually tell you if there's going to be a game broadcast about 15 minutes ahead of time.
Well, our guys from Wausau Area Access Media will definitely be putting up the stream, getting ready for it. So if you're watching the stream here, just come back to this place on YouTube and it'll be here.
So the Smith rink trying to decide what they want to do here, what they want to take out. They want to stay in. Looks like they're going to try and pick this one out on the outside with the third's last rock. Tina Rosenberry. Bohlman keeping a close eye on where this rock comes out. Sweep it hard here.
Boy.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Well, looks like Bowman's going to try to curl around that top rock again. This time from the outside. I believe she'd probably try from the inside here. A little bit better results. Sit on top of the 4. Don't allow Smith to get there before you get there.
We've seen 3 straight disc takeouts.
You're starting to feel the pressure. It's late on Saturday night, and it's game 5. A lot of people are conditioned to play as many games as they've been playing this many.
Well, another 2 teams came off the ice after handshakes. Segovia versus Kraus. I'll give you an update on that. Kraus really laying it on with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5-point end.
5-point end in the 7th. Yeah. So the final there
12.
after 7 would be 12-2. Yeah.
Wow. Big scores here in the early games.
There are.
13 to 2, a 12-2.
Well, those 2 for sure, but
Yep.
the other ones, and Swiss Helm, yeah, maybe that's a big score, 7-1 right now. But
Yep.
otherwise, we've got a 1-point game, a 1-point game, and a 4-point game, I guess, with ours. Well, good for the Kraus girls. They'll go away happy. Head back to Duluth. Maybe they can get back for a little bit of House of Hearts, but they'll probably miss some of that, or if not all of it. They're there in spirit, cheering everyone on, celebrating in Duluth.
Smith's first stone drawn into the top of the 4 here. Trying to get it to Barry. We get it too deep here. Wow, beautiful placement. Only thing better would have been about 6 inches to the right under those yellow stones. A little bit peeking out here. Gonna have Bohlman probably gunning for this. Oh, almost fully exposed. Gonna try and chip this out, stay. She's calling for a sweep right away. I think she might be a little inside. Now she's calling off.
Looks like, yeah, after that Swiss Helm update, they're shaking hands as well. Not sure what the score would be, but it doesn't really matter. They'll hang it right now. But I believe Ann Swisshelm will come away a victor after another steal of 3. So yeah, 10-1 over the Camarina rink. So they're a little disappointed, obviously, with that outcome. But Ann's happy and moves to 3-2.
And pushes her into the tiebreaker round.
Yep.
Or tiebreaker situation, we should talk about. See how that pans out here in about 45 minutes. by the time they get everything figured out, who's where and how the other games end. A tight match on sheet C.
Yeah, that's an update too. Hampton came back and scored a deuce to pull ahead of Kono, 5-4 now, 1 point game. Kono will have the hammer coming home, down 1. We might move to that game shortly.
Kono looking to bring Hampton down to 3-2 and move up to 2-3. No loss for Kono, but a lot of loss potential for Hampton on the loss game.
Well, at least on the head-to-head, well, yeah, I mean, if she does lose this one to Kono.
Team sweep here going on, getting that rock buried, trying to bury it. Get it to the top of the 1.
Landon came back, the Wausau home team berth.
Feature sheet here, Bohlman looking to chip the red rock out, sitting 3. Looking to get back in this game, and you can see Smith's face. Not too sure what's going to happen here. She could get.
Well, this could be a shot for 4, Chris.
If she can stick with it, yep. She's got to clear that guard on the front and hit enough of that red rock to get it out, and not roll completely out herself. The line looks pretty good.
I would sweep that just to be safe.
They can just stay off the center line, and they've got room on that guard at this point. They're trying to get as much of that rock, and nope, they're going to get 3.
Yep, interesting.
So
a little bit of curl, a little bit more curl would have done it.
Yep, she just needed to move it. She's trying to get back in the game here. 3 points going on the board, and we have a game. Wow, the live stream has been lucky for some of these teams here. Playing a 6-5, coming home. Bohlman coming home without the hammer. Smith with the hammer. The 8th end.
Yeah, very exciting. And didn't mean to interrupt the hammer shot. Landon in the 7th end scored 1. Still down 5-3 over the Yapel rink out of the Chicago Curling Club. So we'll see how that plays out. They are playing the 8th coming home. Yapel will have the hammer.
And a win by Yapel puts them at 3-2. If they continue to roll tide like they are, they will also enter that tiebreaker situation.
Roll Tide. Go Alabama, I guess. Rocket City Curling Club down in Alabama.
The Rocket City Curling Club.
Yeah.
Okay, and Bowman's first call is to throw a center guard.
Yeah, this will be, Smith has the hammer, so, you know, she has to feel pretty good. We'll see how it gets set up here.
One of the sweepers keeps going down to sweep. The other one keeps pushing on her shoulder to keep her stopping sweep.
Sweepers want to sweep, Chris.
That's all they can do. Give them a broom. That's all they can do.
I mean, I love sweeping so much that I usually oversweep everything.
Or you try to skip the games, so you don't have to sweep. Then you don't have to make that decision.
I don't have that trouble because Corey will never let me, well, unless he's gone. He just says, you go throw skip rocks, I'm the skip, and I'll call the house. We're different that way.
I won't argue that point. And Smith's rock coming down here. Looks like they're going to play a corner guard or draw to the wing. Looks like it's going to be in the house, maybe through the house.
All right, take this chance in the beginning of the 8th end. There's 2 teams still out there. Thanks for joining us at the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championships. 2024?
No, 4 teams still out there.
Oh, yes. 2 games.
2 games, 4 games.
I love
4
when
teams.
Yeah, you know, I've been doing this for a little while. It does get a little tiring, trying to snap myself out of zoning out. But these games do help because they are very close and tight and exciting. So we're rooting on for all these teams. There's going to be a big log jam at 3-2, and somebody out of there is going to have a playoff. And we're not sure who, but thanks for joining us. Stick with us. We're going to finish up this 8th end here with Smith versus Bohlman. But then we'll also give you coverage of the Hampton and Kono game, which is very tight. Kono has the hammer in the 8th end, coming home down 1 to Mandy Hampton, the defending champion. So we'll see how this plays out. Yeah, okay, so Chris is whispering in my ear that I can't count, and there are 3 games going on, so there are 6 teams still out there, out of the 12. Let me count again. Yep. So there you go.
2 games being played with a 1-point advantage. It looks like, oops, we might have had a rock violation. Rock got moved around by a, oh, we got the tick rule. Tick rule. Move the rock with the on the center line. Moved it off the center line, has to be replaced. New rule this year. Tick line, Lyme's ticks disease.
It's a trial rule, remember.
Yes, it is. We're not talking about
Oh boy.
ticks that give you Lyme's disease. We're talking about ticks on the center line. That would be a Captain Curling
It is getting
reference.
late, I can tell. Getting punchy.
Our camera production people asked for that one. I'll give them a little bit of shout out there.
Mm-hmm.
That was not my line or tick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's getting late. Thanks again for everybody for joining us and staying with us late here. We really appreciate the listenership and viewing. We hope we're doing a good job for you. Let us know how we're doing.
Yeah, you know what? That keeps our attention going, is if somebody puts something in the chat. And we haven't seen anything for a while, so let us know where you are, where you're watching, who you're rooting for. If there's somebody still on the ice, let us know.
We invite you back, definitely, for our guaranteed 2 games tomorrow and tiebreaker in the morning. The should be some very exciting curling. Who would have predicted that we'd have 3 games going down right to the wire here this late on the last final women's round robin draw, final round robin draw of the competition. Bohlman here looks like they're going to try and draw around the center rock.
I don't know if she liked that. Out of her hand.
Looks like she might have been a little bit inside. She's thinking it was.
They're
need to
sweeping.
be swept to get around that guard rock or center stone. Tapping that rock back isn't all the worst thing in the world, but moving it side to
They're
side.
behind it.
Yep, they're going to get behind it. Well, they got what they were looking for.
Well, now she should smile. These guys want Steve to look stupider than you. Yeah, well, it's always easy to say something from a couch.
Yep, there's a lot of couch curlers out there.
Here's what I like. I like comments like this. Amateur listening here, loving the commentary. Go Bohlman. I love that too. Thanks for the commentary. Checking in from Ogden, Utah, from the Oval.
Good hit there.
Exciting game.
Roll
Thanks
to
for
the
streaming
side.
it for us back in ND. You bet. Sounds like a Go Bison liker.
Bohlman's 5th shot of the end.
And remember, she's looking for a steal. She does not have hammer.
Looks like it's coming in where she wants it. Not sweeping very hard here. Gonna try and slide next to this one. Yep, got her by.
Look at that.
Wow, another really nice shot there, right to the top of the 1 foot. Actually peeks out on the other side a little.
It does, but still a great shot.
Looking for the slash straight back here. Gonna either play the red back on it or catch just a quarter of that stone. I don't think, yeah, she's gonna take the run back. Use her own stone. Run it back onto the yellow. Tina Rosenberry fires the stone. Sweepers are holding it. Actually pushed it back a little bit. It's going to come up nicely here. I believe it's going to be a pretty good shot. Nice run back on using her own stone as a
Yes, it was.
parlay there.
Yep. Bohlman's a little bit frustrated with that, but she understands it's curling, so she's going to say, let's go back here again.
Trying to build. Trying to build that steal and trying to hide something best she can.
That's Cynthia's sister's watching from Portland, Oregon. Of course, she's rooting for her sister. That's great. Thank you. Mary Jaster's grandkids are cheering her on from Moorhead, Minnesota. That's awesome. It's getting a little late for the grandkids, but what a better way to let them stay up and watch Grandma. Apparently the Hawks are in Grand Forks. Bison are in Fargo.
Smith's looking at drawing here. On the draw, they talked about possibly running the yellow one, but they're going to try and come around that onto their own stone on the tee line there.
So an update. Oh, look at that. An update. Mandy Hampton pulls out the win with a steal in the 8th, securing the victory 6-4 over Kono. So defending champion Mandy Hampton goes to 3-2 with everyone else. And great to see her come back after pulling herself out in a earlier game, the only loss she had. Looking pretty strong. And Landon and Yapel also seem to be over. Not doing the 8th.
Hampton goes to 4-1.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Hampton the clear leader at this time.
Yeah, and if Smith continues on this victory path, they'll be tied at 4-1 with Hampton. Yeah, my mistake there.
Oh, that's all right.
And our hometown team, I want to make sure, but I believe they're done.
Yep, I believe they're leaving the ice.
6-3. The Yapel team out of Chicago Curling Club secures the victory over the hometown Berth team at Nationals, the Lisa Landon rink. So, you know, they got into this position through a play down that we had here at the club. 2 teams of women played down to earn the berth that we had into Nationals, and you know, it was a great experience for them. Happy that they got to go out and compete, and I'm sure they're gonna. We're all proud of them.
We're proud of all the players that came here from where all the different locations. Hopefully they had a great time here and enjoyed some hospitality, some great curling, some fantastic ice in our wonderful facility here. Looks like
Yeah, what are we looking at here, Chris?
Smith has got a chance to draw another one in here. Bohlman crashed their yellow coming in the house, but Smith's looking for load another one in. And may leave these right on the open for Bohlman to hit them.
Looks like it's curling
ooh,
hard.
She's gonna rub that top yellow, and there's a potential for a double here, or a run back yellow, angle raise yellow into that red.
Making it interesting.
It's going to be tough for Bohlman to put this in scoring position, but she's sitting 3 right now if she can move that red one. And she just needs 1 locked up here. They're going to take a timeout. Talk about this quite a bit here. Save their time. They are short on time. I don't know where their players. Oh, there we go. She's got 1:15 plus her timeout, so she's got plenty of time to make the call here. If they don't talk about it too long, they've got an angle raise on the yellow right there. Take that back into the red on about a 45-degree angle into that, maybe a little bit steeper to a 60.
Okay, well.
There's our word. We just got it. If you could hear that in the background, they're going to be letting this game finish and then see where we are for the tiebreakers.
The last beanie. Last beanie's for sale, Chris. Why don't you run and get that? It's cool. It's army green.
That's good for you. That's really not my color, and I don't wear a lot of hats, so at least I don't wear a lot of hats in the winter. Got 1:15 to throw her stone here. Clock timing down. Ice has been called. Has been decided on the shot. Going to play the ankle back. Pretty much the only thing she's really had.
Well,
they're going to probably be sweeping on this here.
They want to.
They got to keep it on the outside.
They want to, but did she push it out?
No, not a lot. It's coming in here. And has she got it? Let's see.
Oh,
yes, she does. And it goes to 3 yellow. Really putting the pressure on here. Wow, this is a great game to be watching.
Wow, Cynthia Smith has got
great shot.
1 shot.
She's going to try and come around her red, nose that yellow back, and stay right there for count. Well, that's tight on that red rock that she's got on top of the 12-foot.
It's not a gimme.
No, not at all. Depending on how the ice curls here, what kind of weight she throws. She looks confident. She looks ready. She's only got about a minute left also. She's a little bit rushed on the delivery.
Oh, and here it comes. No sweeping yet. Oh,
yep.
And we have 1 down.
Miriam's down.
Both down.
Both down.
Oh, and
wow, they're going to have to go hard. They're going to be on that guard.
They're called off.
They're already on the guard, I have a feeling. They're on that red rock. Nope.
They are not on the red rock.
Wow,
it is a
fantastic
great
shot.
And Cynthia Smith secures the win with that shot.
Down
with
to
her
the
hammer.
last stone.
What a great game.
Wow, we've got some great games today, Steve. Everybody's battling right to the end, and that was about as close as you could get to that red stone and still stick your shot.
Well, with that game over, we will be heading off to a meeting to hear about tiebreakers, and then, we'll let the Wausau Area Access Media guys know what's happening. They'll throw up what's going to come up on 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, Central Time, and I'm feeling there will be a women's tiebreaker game. What we do know is once that happens, we're going to be coming back at 12 o'clock Central Time for the semifinals, and then we'll finish up with the gold and the silver from the Wausau Curling Center in the 2023 USA Curling Club National Championships here from Wausau, Wisconsin. So there's the standings as we see them. Smith goes to 4-1, Hampton 4-1.
Diepel 3-2,
Yeah.
Bohlman 2-2, Cano 1-4, Landon 1-4.
And in the B pool, Segovia's
4 teams.
Segovia's
3 and
actually
2.
3-2. Politano,
Politano.
Swisshelm, and Walsh all 3-2. So Kraus 2-3. So it's going to be exciting. Yeah, I mentioned that. 3-2
Okay.
for Segovia. So,
Yep.
you know, thanks everyone for joining us.
Thanks for
You
sticking
give us
with
a-
us tonight.
Give us a sign-off picture, and we'll say goodbye. And thank you.
Thanks for watching.